Today's top stories. The Privy Council to rule Thursday on boundaries matter. A Team Unity candidate expressing concern that election may not be free and fair. And essential services personnel are preparing to vote on Saturday. I'm Chantel Rochester and welcome to the Winn TV News for February 11, 2015. The London-based Privy Council will hand down its judgment Thursday. The judgment will be on whether the January 16 proclamation on new constituency boundaries for the Federation was in breach of constitutional right to protection under law. More from Clive Bacchus.
Government lawyers argue that the proclamation was properly promulgated under the provisions of the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution, and the court had no right to interfere in the matter. Opposition lawyers argue that the process was calculated to deny the opposition access to the court, and as such was designed to stifle rights enshrined in law. Lord Goldsmith, attorney for the government, told the appeal court that High Court Judge Marlene Carter had earlier ruled that the proclamation was duly published.
She says at 41, I'm satisfied the proclamation didn't rely for the validity upon being in the public domain in the manner as argued by the respondents. And my submission is there's nothing in section 119 or section 50 which requires publicity in the sense that it's immediately available to someone who goes to a particular place and asks for it. She took the view, she determined that it was published. I believe that's the effect of what the Court of Appeal decided as well, which is why we submit in our written case that your Lordships have on the question of whether it was published concurrent findings of fact, with which your Lordship should not interfere in accordance with your Lordship's normal practice.
Attorney Peter Knox, Queen's Counsel, argued for the opposition that the proclamation was not gazetted as copies were not available and therefore it was not properly published. He said former Deputy Prime Minister Sam Condor, a member of Team Unity, could not get a copy of the publication from the Government Information Service.
So he attends a Government Information Service, Minister of Information and so on, 8:50 a.m. the 19th of January. I spoke to Mrs. Heather Herbert. I asked her for the gazettes for 2015. She told me, and I very believe, that there were no gazettes for 2015 as of yet. She said, and I do very believe, that the most recent gazette she had was number 56 of 2014, 11th of December. I purchased a copy, and one can see a copy. And then she further told me, I do very believe, that the Government Information Service is the only department responsible for distributing the gazette to the public.
One Team Unity election candidate is expressing concern that the general election may not be free and fair. Ken Richards has more.
Speaking at Team Unity's launch of the election manifesto Tuesday night, former Deputy Prime Minister Sam Condor said he has problems with the early voting by workers from essential services. He said he was concerned because necessary regulations appear not to have been put in place to facilitate the voting. Condor also disclosed that he has problems with the location for keeping those votes until they're counted, the Office of the Commissioner of Police.
And I don't want to be alarmist, but I want to say to people, we have to be careful with the direction that this country can take over the next few days. I want you to stand firm. These are serious times. Douglas went into the House, this electoral system that Douglas playing with, manipulating. This is serious business. Free and fair elections is the cornerstone of our democracy. And what we see is a manipulation of the system. Douglas overnight went in the House to pass a law about security forces voting 2 days before the election. No regulations, no discussions. But to understand, some notice came out that security forces will be voting on the 14th, and the ballot boxes will be in the safe keep, quote unquote, the safe keep of the Commissioner of Police office. You see how Douglas looking for trouble? I want to warn this country. These are serious times. We have allowed Douglas to get away with all kinds of things. And if we allow Douglas to continue to get away with those things, our last state will be worse than our first.
The Team Unity candidate called on civil society to act against what he described as the foolishness being perpetrated by the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Winn FM.
Winn FM's mission is to contribute meaningfully to the information, awareness, and the development of our nation and the region through the building of educated and informed communities. Winn FM faces the issues squarely, without shying away from controversy, while striving continuously to provide balanced, responsible reporting.
Better music, better talk, better radio. 98.9 Winn FM.
Welcome back. Essential services personnel are preparing to vote on Saturday, February 16, 2015. Reports reaching Winn FM indicate that those opting to vote early are required to submit a form indicating such to the electoral office by Thursday. More from Tony Frederick Armstrong.
Essential services personnel are preparing to vote on Saturday. Reports reaching Winn FM indicate that those opting to vote early are required to submit a form indicating such to the electoral office by Thursday. Last October, the National Assembly Elections Amendment Bill 2014 was passed by the Parliament. The Act allows for essential services personnel to vote 2 days before Election Day. This includes doctors, nurses, EMTs, fire and rescue, and police and defence force personnel. Senior police officials met Tuesday with the Commissioner of Police, who advised them of the arrangements made for Saturday. Boxes for all the polling stations will be at one voting location in each constituency. The voting locations will be police stations in each constituency except 2, where the old girls' school will be used. Candidates reportedly can have agents present as usual. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Boxes will be locked and sealed in the presence of the agents and transported to police headquarters in St. Kitts and the Charlestown Police Station in Nevis. The ballots are to be stored in the Commissioner's office in St. Kitts and the Assistant Commissioner of Police's office in Nevis, where there will be under 24-hour surveillance by camera. Candidates' agents can be present as well as police security to keep watch. Interested parties can also be granted remote access to monitor the cameras off-site. Winn FM understands that some personnel had queries about when the ballots will be counted. Reports are that the Commissioner of Police could not say Tuesday whether the early ballots would be counted separately or be added to Monday's ballots. Meantime, Winn FM has been unable to substantiate social media reports that the police are being pressured into voting early. Sources close to police say that that is not the case, and while officers are being encouraged to do so, there have been no threats of disciplinary action or other undue pressure.
Finally, on the Winn TV News, what are the young, energetic political candidates saying on the platform ahead of the February 16th general elections? Are they bringing something new and fresh to the table? Winn TV's Andre Huey has more in this report.
In a recent public meeting of the ruling Labour Party in Connery, constituency number 8, Dr. Terence Drew promised to upgrade sporting facilities in the area and improve health care for residents. He promised to build a health centre in Connery.
And I say health centre has to be in the area. And I want to announce to the people of Connery tonight that your health centre will come. It is coming. It is in Labour's manifesto.
Conris Maynard is promising an increase in jobs through various construction projects in the constituency, infrastructure developments, construction of some 250 new homes, and improvement in health care. He also, at a recent public meeting, promised creative business opportunities for young people.
For the young people, we are in an age of technology where there are apps on your phone. We are saying that we must provide forums for you to be able to develop your own apps so that you can sell your app on the App Store or the Play Store and make money and make St. Kitts a capital for technology. Those are the type of things I want to see in my constituency.
In another meeting, Dr. Vance Gilbert spoke of plans for the Keon High School.
We started working for the people of Keon. The very next day, I went to the Keon High School and presented the Keon High School with a brand new photocopier printer, something big so, a big machine so, for the people of Keon. And I gave them my commitment that I am going to adopt the Keon High School.
Meanwhile, Team Unity candidate John L. Powell unveiled his agenda for development of Central Bastille earlier this week, which outlined plans to address crime and violence, education, and social development. His plans include development of a center of innovation for small business development and urban redevelopment.
There is no doubt that Central Bastia is a gateway to St. Kitts via sea. It is also the main vein of public bus transportation. And so I will spearhead the redevelopment of the ferry and bus terminal with the help of my good colleague and the next representative for East Bastia, Ian Patches-Libod.
To end the Winn TV News, a look at the headlines. The Privy Council to rule Thursday on the boundaries matter. A team unity candidate expressing concern that election may not be free and fair. I am Chantal Rochester and this has been the Winn TV News. Thank you for watching.